Hey everyone, I want to give you a reading of the opening of my book, How Wearing Leggings Changed My Life. I struggled a bit with exactly how to open this book, and I decided I'd go with a scene that some of you might recognize because I posted about it on Facebook when it happened. So part 1, Falling Apart. Chapter 1, A Girl Defiant. I'm going to try not to cry as I read this because that will make it way harder to get through and involve lots of editing. I was on the bathroom floor, curled into a fetal position as uncontrollable sobs racked my body. I knew it was stupid. There was no reason to feel this way, to feel so wrong. After all, I hadn't gone through any great trauma. I hadn't suffered any loss or witnessed anything terrible. Sort of. I'd looked in the mirror. Well, naked. It was something I took great pains to never do, but it was all there, waiting for me. My hairy skin, flat chest, narrow hips, hallmarks of a male body. Not to mention what was between my legs. Definitely not female. But in my mind, when I closed my eyes and thought of myself, I saw a tall, statuesque blonde woman, her breasts moderately sized, waist nipped in, smoothly curved hips leading into long legs. At least I actually have the legs. It was the person I'd always seen myself as, had always wished to be. Dreaming of being her is how I fell asleep for most of my life, wishing I had another body, while the one outside matched the inside. And that wasn't my first bout with gender dysphoria, and it certainly wasn't going to be my last. Eventually, I picked myself up off the floor and shaved my body, or rather finished shaving my body, taking care not to cut myself as random shuddering sobs still hit me. If you follow me on Facebook, you might remember that day. I posted about it, still crying as I wrote out the message and sent it into the ether. I didn't want to forget the visceral emotion, which is why I put it out in the world. I wanted people to know what gender dysphoria is, and I wanted other trans people who come across it to know they weren't alone. Our experiences aren't all the same, but we share a special bond nonetheless. Of course, the next thing I had to face was even worse. I was getting laser hair removal. Where? Everywhere. Someone else, like a 20-something woman, was going to see my body naked in its entirety, my male body. By this point, I'd been dressing and presenting as female for months. I was very good at feminizing my body, and I passed really well, considering I hadn't yet started hormone treatment. No one had seen me looking like a guy in months, not even me, as evidenced by my strong reaction to seeing a man in the mirror. The idea of another person seeing me laid bare was almost paralyzing. But as any trans woman can tell you, there is something we dislike more than people seeing us skinny-hipped, breastless, and sporting eggs and sausage between our legs, and that's body hair. There's nothing that will out you as having been born with a male body more than my levels of body hair. And so I pulled myself together and got ready to meet this young woman who would have to see all this. But as I was getting dressed, I forced myself to watch myself in the mirror. I made myself really look at my body, a body which is perfectly fine as it is, if you're into looking like a guy, and I realized that self-loathing is a poison. It would strip me of all my joy and rob me of my future happiness as my transition progressed. It was a thief that I was determined to deny. And that was when I established a new axiom in my life. No matter where I am, what I look like, or what I'm struggling with, I have to love myself right now. Because if I don't know how to love myself as I am now, how will I know to love myself when I reach my goals? And that wasn't the first new truth I'd established in my life on this journey, but it was one that I know applies to everyone. Love yourself now, right now. You are deserving of love. Yes, you've made mistakes. Yes, you have a long way to go. But little old you will do a lot better if someone's rooting for them. And that starts with you. You love you. I know it's hard sometimes, so I'll give you a helping hand. I love you too. Thanks.